could that apply to us? You are the salt of the earth. Maybe you can help to clean up this world. Its corruption, its willingness to be snarky and to lie. How can you preserve good things in this world, the good teachings of lifting people up instead of putting them down? Salt was also used as a healing agent. This one's kind of hard to believe. Your gums, you got a toothache? Rub salt on your gums. Even though that might not be our approach today, and we can appreciate what we do have now, aren't we meant to be agents of healing in a divided world? Salt was considered pure. It was often used in sacrifices in religions to different gods, this kind of essence of purity. But most of all, as we know salt, it gives flavor to things. You are the salt of the earth. You're supposed to give flavor to this world. Now, today we don't think of salt as a very exotic spice because we have so many others of them. But back in the day, salt was about as good as it got for people in Jesus' world. Can you imagine that? The Romans had a way of saying that salt makes everything better. Another fun fact, the word salad, another SAL word, because people put salt on their greens to give it some flavor. But I'm thinking that to our modern palates, the image of salt may be a little too bland. Let's try this. You are the Sriracha sauce of the world. Meant to make it more interesting. Now, when Jesus looked out over the crowd and he said, you are the salt of the earth, you are the light of the world, he didn't say, you will be the salt of the earth once you get all of your dysfunctions functional again. He didn't say, you will be the salt of the earth as soon as you become more spiritual and your swear jar doesn't fill up so quickly. He said, no, right now, just as you are the salt of the earth. And as if that wasn't good enough, he says, you are the light of the world. Of course, we know in Jesus' day, light was something that you had to secure and think about before it got dark. You didn't just flip a light switch and have light, right? You had to have oil for the lantern. You had to place the lantern. You had to know how your fire source was going to get to the lantern. So there is this preciousness about light. And Jesus calling the people the light of the world is interesting because it's the same title that he gave to himself. In John's Gospel, he said, I am the light of the world. He shares that, not just that it's a title, but a job description. That our role in this world is to bring light to the dark places. I like that old poem Robert Louis Stevenson talked about punching holes in the darkness. That's our role. Punch holes in the darkness and bring some light of truth and grace and kindness wherever you go. Now, I've been thinking that it's not just about our own little individual lights, but what happens when you get all those lights together? You get something more like a beacon, right? Instead of just your little light over there and my little light over here and Ray's little light over there, what if we all come together, all of us, and bring our light together? We have a beacon that can be seen, and that's a beacon we call church. We come together and and have something positive to bring to the whole community, to the whole world, when we're faithful at doing it. Now, I want to ask a question here. You'll see where I'm going in a second. How many of you are really good at keeping secrets? Some of you are like, All right. I should raise mine. I guess you wouldn't trust me. But that may be part of our problem. A while back, I had somebody tell me that Bayshore Church is the best kept secret in Long Beach. I thought, well, that's terrible. What do you mean? She talked about, well, it's got such a positive message that brings people up and accepts everybody, and it's got this wonderful music program and all the stuff that you're doing in the community. But if you ask somebody about Bayshore Church, they'll say, isn't that by St. Bart's? I think I voted there once. You know, there's a certain thrill that comes when somebody releases you from having to keep a secret. Well, guess what? You've just been released. Don't keep it a secret anymore. Jesus, in his metaphors of salt and light, he talked about don't lose your saltiness, which is kind of weird because chemists tell us that salt can't lose its saltiness. But Jesus was surely aware that there were unscrupulous merchants who would cut in other substances into the salts, kind of like drug dealers do today, right? They would cut in other things into it, and so it wouldn't, have its full potency. It would be kind of watered down. Don't lose your saltiness. Don't lose your flavor by being watered down and letting all these other things that aren't you inside. Don't let it detract. Don't lose your flavor. Some people, you might think that Jesus, said it differently. That said, not you are the salt of the earth and the light of the world, but maybe said, Christians, you are the wet blankets of the earth. Go out and find somebody having fun and tell them not to. Go around disapproving and judging everybody. But that's not what Jesus said. Light, salt, flavor, bring some enhancement to the world. And he also had this great metaphor about don't take a bushel basket and put it over the light, because you're hiding the light. Right? Don't do that. Because then what good is the light? Remember the song, the kids sang it, but they didn't do a version that has the best part. You remember the best part of This Little Light of Mine that you sang at camp? Hide it under a bushel, and then everybody screams out, no! Right? Let's try it. Hide it under a bushel. No! I'm going to let it shine. Right? That's the fun of it. So I think that we have this amazing opportunity as Bayshore Church to come together and let our light shine. Are you going to let anybody put a bushel basket over what this church does and what it means to the community? No. I like that. Let's keep that going. So, we have an incredible, extraordinary music program, amen? So when we have a special Sunday like this with all of this wonderful featured music that we have, are you going to keep it to yourself and put a bushel basket on it by not inviting anybody? Or are you going to get the word out so other people can enjoy it too? Are you going to put a bushel basket over your light? No. All right. We have this amazing opportunity. We have this great online ministry that we have, anywhere to 150 different families are watching with us online. So I'm putting this out to you, our online people. Are you going to hide it? Or are you going to smash that like and subscribe button? And share it. And when you all see something that we post, a positive message that inspires you on Facebook, are you going to put a bushel basket over it by keeping it to yourself, or are you going to let it shine by liking and sharing it on your page? All right. Are you going to let people not know about Bayshore Church because we have this problem that a couple of people left some weird things on Yelp and Google business page about our church that has nothing to do with what we have to do, and I wasn't even sure they were at the right church? Or are you going to go and write a positive 5-star review for Bayshore Church? When you go to our webpage, you'll see that I put up a blog post the other day about how one time I did something that somebody said, that seemed a little self-serving, Dave, and they were right. And that last one might have crossed the line a little. But we've got all of these wonderful things that we're doing in the community right now. And one of the places where I want to challenge you is one of our most important ministries that we do is we feed hungry people every month at COA. It's an important ministry. And last month we didn't have enough people preparing casseroles or enough servers. That seems like we might be putting a bushel basket where it doesn't belong. Are you going to let your light shine and help out to make sure that we have enough servers and food to serve other people this month? Yes. All right. Is Linda Sumter even here to hear that? Okay, yes. This building, we do so much in this building all the time. We've got groups like nobody can believe. We've got 12-step groups. We've got yoga. We've got exercise classes. We've got meditation. We've got Boy Scouts, Girl Scouts. We even have someone who teaches French to preschool children. We do a lot. This place is busy all the time, all week, with people who are doing good in the community and impacting other people's lives. But we have a big old bushel basket of deferred maintenance, right? We have leaky windows, stuff that needs to be updated, just time to do stuff so that the building can support all of this. So are we going to let the bushel basket of all of these projects affect the building so that we can't do what we're supposed to do? All right. You got a lot of shining to do, it seems to me. Jesus said, "You are the salt of the earth and the light of the world." Has anybody ever received such a high compliment from such an unimpeachable source? Amen.